to demonstrate the barbell front squat. Now, barbell front squat is very similar to a regular squat or a back squat, which we have another video of. You definitely should take a look at. The only difference is, instead of loading the weight on the back of your shoulders, on your upper back, you're going to be holding it in front of your head. What that does is that's going to shift the posture that your body holds during the exercise, keeping you much more upright and putting a lot more of the effort into the quadriceps while taking a lot of the effort out of your glutes and lower back. So, also supporting the weight on your chest is going to be much more of an abdominal exercise, which is an added benefit. A couple reasons to do front squats in addition to back squats are if you have poor hip mobility, meaning you can't bend your hips very well, you stay more upright, so you don't need to bend your hips as much to go all the way down. Also, they're going to work your quadriceps a bit harder. If you feel like your quadriceps are a weak point, or if you just want to hit them with a little bit of variety, it's an excellent exercise. A third reason is if you are learning any Olympic lifts, such as the cleans or the snatches. This is a very good exercise for learning a portion of that exercise, which we'll demonstrate in videos in the future. The catches on those two exercises, where you're lifting the barbell up and catching it, are essentially front squats. So if you're already familiar with the front squat, you're going to have a lot easier time learning that motion. There are two hand grips to use on a front squat. You can use either one. The first one is like a clean catch or a clean grip. And what that you're going to do is a shoulder width grip on the bar. You're going to put your hands under and you're going to literally open your hands. You're not actually going to be forming a fist on the bar. You're going to have open fingers. You want to, with good posture, chest up, shoulders back. Get under the bar, bring your chest up and against the bar, and then open your hands, lift your elbows as high as they can go. Stand up, take a step back. Notice how open my wrists are, and notice how high my elbows are. If your wrists aren't this flexible, your elbows may be lower, but you still want to keep them as high as possible. I'm going to take my regular squat stance, or slightly narrower on this one. Find out what's comfortable for you, but you don't want to be excessively wide. And keeping my chest very upright, I'm going to push my hips back slightly, drop down low. Notice how much less my hips need to bend to get this low. On a back squat, there's a lot more hip flexion, so if your hips are stiff, it's harder to go that low. Now, front squat, you really want to keep the bar right by your collarbone and right against your neck. If it starts to get heavy, if your arms start to get tired, your arms are not going to be able to support that weight because it should be a good amount of weight to challenge your legs. The second grip on a front squat is one I personally like to use. I find it easier, you don't have to have as flexible of wrists. It's to do a crossed grip. So I'm going to get that same position of my chest up and under the bar right by my collarbone and throat. I'll take one hand, reach forward and across to the other shoulder, and I'll do the same with the other hand. So essentially it's above my anterior deltoid, above my front deltoid, and resting across my collarbone and chest. And I again want to keep my elbows really high to form a shelf. I'm not actually holding the bar with my hands. I can lift my hands and it rests here. So you really want to keep the bar back and high on your shoulders. Like I said, I like this position a little better because it doesn't require any wrist flexibility, and I find it a little bit easier to keep your elbows high. The rest of the exercise is exactly the same. Take a squat stance or slightly narrower. Keep weight evenly across your foot, mostly in the heels. Hips back slightly, and go down keeping upright torso posture. And that's a great variety of a squat. As I said, works the same muscle groups as a traditional squat, a little bit differently. It's a good thing to add to your program.